there, everybody. 6F Cyrus here, welcoming you back to Obscure KOUDELKA. This is super obscure. This is the Caffeine Co-Commentaries. As always, we have with us the Blind Man's World.
Hello.
And we were supposed to see these mummies here, but all I see is piles of trash.
Yeah, pretty much. Even if that, it looks like just dark corners to me. Nothing.
Wow. Valna says, give us back our dolls, and Vigna says, run, get away while you still can. Yes, give them their dolls. Wow, they were moving? Whoa. Well, we have the green key now. We're no longer gated. Wow, I looked at that torch and walked through the door. That's really good. What's this? Really?
It's a potion.
No. You can
A
keep
lovely
it.
potion.
Now, can I open this from this side? It's rusted. I wish you had told me that on the other. A little bit salty right now, just a smidgen. So we should be seeing new enemies, but we're not. So we've never been here before. Oh, and we also found out at the end of, well, you might not see that episode now. We tried to fight the gargoyle, but found out that it's actually an optional boss. So is this a potion again? Why?
Wow, that's weird. Apparently they want you to heal?
And here is Charlotte's cell. Why did we come in? What? What? This is not the way I would expect to enter a room. Alright, let's just jump down and pretend nothing ever happened. Can we leave? What? Held shut by a mysterious force. Well then. Yes, I see the food on the table. I understood that. Uh-oh. Aha!
Bing bong, yay! Finally.
That was way too much screwing around.
Well, it was so vague as to what you're supposed to do.
I don't know how I was supposed to understand Vigna and Valna there.
Yeah, I don't either. Now, one of these is gonna be vulnerable to
Magic?
like physical, and one's to magic. So I think you may have found the one that's physical based.
It's not that resistant to physical.
No, it isn't actually.
And they're not doing enough damage to really be a threat. Unless they continue to hound one player like that.
Yes.
I'm gonna use more rifle rounds, even though we're almost out of them. I just know this does good damage, and we need good damage, so...
On a minimum level of level 25 for this one, so you should be fine.
Yeah.
Is our music really high today?
I feel like it's a little louder than it should be. Yeah, it is.
Okay.
It's supposed to be around here, but that sounds a little
Yeah.
too... Is that alright there?
That seems pretty good.
Okay.
Don't want to drown out your commentary and stuff. That would not be fun. Aw. Patience is just camped out right by me. So cute. My cat doesn't bite me.
Well, I'm rough with Kitsune because he's one of those hyperactive cats, and he gets out of hand, and someone's got to play with him.
Somebody's got to wrestle with him. Wrestle.
Well, the dogs would rather kill him than wrestle with him, so...
Oh,
There's 4 of them and 1 of him. Of course they're going to act like that.
that's weird.
Not really. The dogs have the run of the house.
I see.
Not by my choice either. That's a really frustrating part about that.
Yeah. Dogs get a little bit big egoed if they've got run of the house all the time.
Yep. Koudelka can do 3 hits with guns.
Good, KOUDELKA, good.
It's
Good girl.
really expensive on the bullets, but how can I say no? Wow, that's a really awkward attack. Let me just reach around you, Edward. They've got us backed up against the wall. This is the first time I've really felt like this. Ooh, nice. Now I'm not sure which one's weak to physical. We are kicking butt, though. And it feels like we're getting more actions than them because we're higher level than we need to be.
Right. Definitely, definitely.
Okay, now this presents a unique problem. As far as my spear wielders go, because they can no longer attack.
Oh, that's true, because the enemies are too close.
I think I'm going to use a high potion here. I don't know what to do here.
And you can't switch out weapons mid-battle?
I can.
That would probably what you're going to have to do, unless you can use magic with those guys.
I can, but I'm not really in favor of my magical prowess here.
Probably don't need tons. I mean, they've got like 3,000 hit points or something like that.
Yeah. Let's see here. Bowgun arrow, please. And next turn, he's going to do a ton of damage. Ah, why eyebrow? Why itch at this exact moment?
At least it's turn-based.
That's true. There's the damage.
Sweet. We love you, damage.
Yeah, we're going to have to switch out his weapon as well. Let's see here. Let's give him the W Pata. See how he does with that, actually.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Yeah.
knockback.
Alright. That worked. Sort of.
I'm really expecting this battle to be, like, over in 2 seconds.
Yeah, it kind of should be already. Let me look again at the hit points. Oh, right. There are more than I thought. One's got... Well, they each seem to have 5,000.
Okay.
Alright, so that's why it's taking a little longer. That 5 looked like a 3.
Oh, I can't wait till they can replace your eyes with robotic eyes, and then you'll never have a problem again.
Yeah, by the time they figure it out, I'll be too old, probably, to get it covered by insurance.
I would pay for it if I were you. Just, like, put it on loans or something. Pay it off over time. Vision's that important to me.
Yeah. By that time, I probably won't care anymore.
How will you play video games? That's what's most important. If you don't
Maybe I
have
won't.
that one thing to distract your mind, it's...
I could paint. I could write poetry. Do all
That's
sorts
true.
of stuff. Play guitar, I can do that still by feel.
Yeah.
So there's lots of things I could do. There might not be any video games I want to play. 20, 30 years, whatnot.
Yeah.
Watch my daughter play video games or something.
Actually... Oh.
Charlotte, do you know what these are? They're letters from your mother.
My mother? Letters? There's so many.
Did you know that your mother was a queen of Hanover? It seems that after you were born in secret, your mother was locked up inside Alden Castle. Even while she was imprisoned there, she sent many letters to you here in the monastery. She never laid eyes on you, but she often imagined what you looked like. She dreamt of the day when she would be able to see you. Her letters never got to you. and she was never told of your death, so she continued to write you letters even after you died. Your mother loved you, Charlotte.
What? No. I can't take this now. She loved me? No. No. It's too scary. Hey, I feel warm. What's happening? No. Help me. You're not your brother. You love me?
Goodbye.
Charlotte, how does it feel to know you are loved?
She must have crossed over.
Yep. And we're about to cross over.
I think so, yeah.
Oh, look at the return on that.
Sweet.
And just put the volume
Nice.
back where it goes.
You got items! Exclamation point.
Okay, so I lied. We're not about to cross over to Disc 4 yet. Can I? Why can't I? There we go. Flare brooch. Yes.
There you go. Awesome.
Now.
So we got the good ending on that one.
Yep. Well, that's because we got her letters.
Yep.
We would have had to actually fight her if we didn't, from what we understand right now.
Yep. That's exactly what would have happened.
It's very important to me that we didn't fight her, because there's a difference between good and evil spirits, and we've just pointed that out.
Yep. Very true.
The blue key? Jesus Christ! Gated by the green key.
Gated by the blue key.
What's this?
Look at this cool place. It's a door.
Aha, shotgun shells. We haven't really used the shotgun. I feel like maybe that's a thing we should do.
Yeah, it's probably fun.
Okay, we can't go that way. So there are 3 doors we can... Oh no, we can go this way. Bolted? Throw back that bolt.
That's right.
Aha!
So this is the door that we could not
I
get
was
through.
totally wrong before. Now I understand. Well, let's start on the level we're on, because there's 2 doors up there, and it just makes more sense to go for the one door.
Big ass enemies probably. Oh no, just these.
The exploded
Powered up.
torsos.
Yes, the rotting, pustulous, exploded torsos of people.
That shoot intestines at you.
And maggots, which you could probably eat for health. Like in Mad Max. There you go.
That reminds me of an odd experience that I had while I was in Florida. I gotta stretch. Why stretching now? No. Okay. Stretching is over. So apparently I slept in a bed. Yes, put the disc in the gramophone. What the? A hidden drawer. Research notes. Ooh, Oh, now that's just creepy. Alright, give me the research notes. September 10th, 1895. Rain. With the monastery renovation completed, I finally moved in with Ogden and Bessie. It's been a long road since I first procured the Emigre file. Even after referencing literature of all ages, the rendering of the text still remains a difficult task. Though it has been 4 years since I first laid eyes on it, never once has its enigma left the recesses of my mind. Contained in it are countless descriptions of the source of the energy that is the secret to life's existence. The Druids' cryptic experiment taken from the ancient Celts and recorded by Alexander the Great hundreds of years before Christ. Branded a forbidden enterprise, it was kept hidden by the Vatican's cardinals in the depths of the Pope's quarters for a very long time. And now I have it in my hands. I've reached Wales, the land referred to in the texts. I will fulfill my wife Elaine's resurrection at this monastery, built by St. Daniel Scotus. Of course, I am aware that my act could prove insolent in the eyes of the Lord, and however people may censure my actions, the love I have for my wife will never cease. I ask of you, Lord, to turn your eyes away for a short while. November 16th, 1895. Rain. The more I learn about this monastery, the more eerie the structure appears to me. Ogden mentioned that the hospice had been full of corpses at one time a few hundred years ago, and I have become aware of an oppressing sense of mortal sin as I walk through the underground passageways. I can feel haunting spirits everywhere. But according to the Emigre file, the power of such resentful spirits are considered the driving force behind reviving the Druid's cryptic experiment. I plan to fill the space with the all-consuming ire of these spirits. Okay.
Yee.
Even though I may burn in hell for these sins, if Elaine can be brought back to life, I shall have no regrets. December 5th, 1895. Rain. I found out that the cauldron hidden in the basement held the key to the secret. Even though the book had mentioned it, the well-positioned trick door kept us from locating its whereabouts. The cauldron looked as if it is made of gold, but upon closer examination, the surface is so old that one cannot determine how long it has been in existence. I would guess that it is a prehistoric artifact made a few thousand or maybe even tens of thousands of years ago and left to sit. We must quickly set up an altar and begin preparations for our ceremony. December 16th, 1895. Rain. Lots of rain. I ordered Ogden to acquire some livestock. 320 chickens. That's not some livestock. 320 chickens and 43 pigs were purchased through a supplier in town. I arranged for ground transportation, but the fog did not help expedite the undertaking. Hey, we talked about that word in this series.
We did.
I expect to be busy as soon as the delivery arrives. Animal offerings are an integral part of the Druid experiment. The cauldron must be filled with the freshest blood and flesh. This is where it begins. Wow, February 24th. We skipped ahead a little. Rain. More rain. The third experiment. Still no response. Even though I followed directions and offer the proper prayers, there are no signs of the spirits gaining any strength. I must return to the book and reread some parts, since I cannot proceed if there has been some misunderstanding of the text. Is there a problem with the way I conducted the experiment, or are the offerings insufficient? Regardless, I need to think this over, even though I may arrive at a terrifying realization. It is too late to fear anything now. I have come too far to be impeded by fear. I'm sure Ogden will understand. March 19th, 1896, a whole year later, return from London with more rain. The specially ordered carriage seems to be working very well. I have trapped 3 women in the baskets in the back. I lured some victims out of an alley in the East End, had them sniff some chemicals, and pulled them into the carriage. But since I was not used to my new role as an abductor, it took more time than planned. I could not have done this without Ogden's help. I am deeply grateful to him. March 25th, 1896. Rain. I am still at a loss. I cannot make up my mind. Even if I can bring Elaine back to life, are my actions forgivable? I balk when presented with this dilemma. Bessie has been taking care of the women I've kidnapped. It's better than them freezing in some corner of London. That's arguable since they're going to be human sacrifices. I hope this small gesture of kindness will be considered as an a priori act of repentance. Good English there.
Yeah.
As a priori act of repentance would have worked just fine. I wonder if my small kindness will have any significance when I held up to the horrendous act I am about to commit. March 31st, 1896. Rain. I must make up my mind. I must. April 3rd, 1896. Storm. Dear Lord, I have without a doubt committed a crime no human should have committed. I conducted the Druid experiment using the flesh and blood of the victims. I sensed the incredible energy of the spirits culminate into one when I poured the woman's remains into the cauldron. As I had thought before, it is human flesh that needs to be offered up to fully release the effects of the procedures. What a frightening, arcane process this is. The sounds of fury in the woman's death, screams have not left my ears, but I must go on. There is no turning back now. April 12th, 1896. Rain. Once again, I perform the procedures. I once again round up 4 victims from London. Even though they are all old with barely a thing to live for, when I contemplate taking their lives, it leaves me sick to my stomach. It may be due to my doubts that the spirits did not rise to such a powerful strength as before. I may have to use a younger, more vibrant source of energy. The book says to fill the cauldron with the energy of haunted spirits. I wonder how many victims the cauldron must swallow to be satisfied. June 5th, 1896. Rain. Again! I do not have enough victims. The saintly presence of Daniel Scotus inhibits us from claiming authoritative power. I have concluded that it will be necessary for us to offer many more lives before we are finished here. I have since found 35 more victims for 7 separate experiments, but the spirits have not responded with much strength. For me to accomplish the resurrection, I am in dire need of the culminated strength of the spirits. I must come up with a way. I must come up with a more efficient way to procure my victims. July 15th, 1896. Rain. I finally received the first shipment of my victims. Ogden was right on when he suggested that we should offer the Lord of the slave trade an enormous amount of money for this matter. He has no compassion for human life. The victims are not given much information and arrive at the monastery expecting a routine night's work. It is not necessary for us to go hunting for prey in town. With a few sugar-coated lies, there are plenty of people that climb right into the carriage. There is no one that will dare speak of what is to become of them. September 9th, 1896. Rain. Poured the remains into the cauldron. The energy levels in the cauldron have clearly increased, which makes me happy, since it proves that I am heading in the right direction. It seems that lately I have become more efficient at performing the tasks required for the procedure. However, Ogden and I cannot expect to become much more productive, as it is impossible for us to hire help, since we must keep this matter purely clandestine. I have decided to place an order for a laboratory table from an equipment manufacturer in Manchester. It will take about a month to make, but once we receive this, we will be able to manage many more experiments. October 3rd, 1896. Rain. Butchered 3 bodies since morning. After lunch, we made repairs to the bell tower of the main church. After dinner with Bessie and Ogden, I butchered 3 more bodies. The lab table has proven its worth. The spirits have certainly increased in strength. At this rate, I may finish preparing for Elaine's resurrection before All Saints' Day. Which, remember, we were talking about that because it happened to us right as the gargoyle spawned.
Right.
October 14th, 1896. Rain. 6 bodies butchered in the morning, 5 in the afternoon, 1 after dinner. Really? 6 twice? I don't like that. It's funny because I saw the number 12 come up today as well on The Price is Right. Someone won 100 grand with that number, and I'm just like, that's creepy.
Cool.
The numerology is at work today. November 1st, 1896. Rain. How I have been awaiting this day. The day to conduct Elaine's resurrection ceremony has finally arrived. The cauldron is brimming with the remains of my victims. This monastery is now consumed by the energies of the preternatural
I guess so.
spirits
Weird.
Even a saint could not hold his ground against the powerful energy of these hexed spirits. I took Elaine's body, which had been preserved in chemicals for this very day, and placed it on the altar. I then began reciting the ceremonial chant. Elaine, you are still as beautiful as ever. I love you so much. Please forgive me for calling you back from the land of the dead. November 7th, 1896. Rain. What is going on? I have lost all hope. All my efforts and dreams have only been an illusion. The tree of life that grew upwards out of the corpse, as if wrapping Elaine's body, was certainly the manifestation of the druids' cryptic experiments that I had been seeking. See, you went for druids. They do that natural stuff, nature magic. It makes sense to me that would happen.
Yeah.
If God is capable of creating beings out of nothingness, then this is indeed a man-made example of his work. But to my horror, the image of my resurrected wife, displayed in a flower petal, looked just as she did before. Yet it lacked a human soul. Indeed, it was a monster. Dear God, is this the punishment you have chosen for me? What have I accomplished by victimizing nearly 200 innocent people? My only hope in life lay in believing that resurrection was possible, and dreaming of the day when my wife Elaine would join me here in life on earth once again. Now I have nothing but a cauldron full of blood and hexed spirits, and a soulless monster. Is this the end that has been awaiting me? Dear Lord, have you no mercy? I only have one path left to follow. I have lost too much. I cannot even find words to apologize to Ogden, who has lent me his strength along the way. Now I only long to sleep in peace with my wife. And those are the last words. And we read that while that creepy music is playing. And now for anyone wondering why I bothered to read all that, that is very plot-centric. We're not going to get that anywhere else.
Nope. Definitely not. No cutscenes for that one.
Nope. Oh my God. You're not doing this to me, are you?
Yes.
Which way did we come in here? I feel like we came from that direction. So I keep doing this wrong. There we go. Wait a minute. No, God, I love getting turned around.
It's great.
So now we understand Patrick. Oh, something's not right. We're good to go. So bring it.
Bring in the clowns.
Is this the thing? No, it's over here. I should have realized. Yep.
There you go.
That was a lot of reading.
Yeah. So this is a vine thing, or what is this thing?
It looks like the butchered remains of a human, mixed with angry souls.
That's weird.
Indeed.
That's not even on my boss list. Well, maybe it is. Oh, Legs of Doom. Yes. It is on. It's 10,000 hit points.
Alright.
High physical defense.
Should I be using magic?
Yeah.
What's it weak to? It used to use lightning. Okay. Well, wind. Okay, it's weak to fire, which means I gotta use flare. Oh, why so stretchy? Okay, so we can get away with a crossbow. That's nice to know. You're gonna be on crossbow duty. Edward, can you, move over here? I know it's not very far, but don't worry about it.
Well, they say level 2 spells should be able to do 2,500 damage, but I've never had any of the damage outputs that they've said in these in this walkthrough. It never happens that way.
because I don't have the stats to back it.
Yeah.
And I haven't really concentrated on magic because even that one boss where we were supposed to... Really? Okay, then. She's actually doing more damage physically.
Very strange.
There we go. That's not bad. It's going to be a long fight again, though.
Yeah, whittling down 10,000 hit points is not going to be fun. Apparently he hits like a truck, too. Or kicks like a truck in this case.
I haven't really felt it. Okay, now that hurt a little.
Knock on wood.
You know what, Koudelka? Why don't you heal him? Why don't you be like residential healer?
Yeah, I think that's a good idea. Just have a healer and the rest of the people can do whatever they can to do damage. Keep them alive.
So now we understand why the Nemeton Monastery was a mess. But we don't understand why Metagod came to it. That's the thing that I'm trying to piece together now. Like, something happened after this set of events.
Right.
That dragged the god, or that gave the god connection to this place.
Yeah, we'll probably figure that out, that's for sure.
Yeah.
This pseudo-Elaine thing may be even the answer to it. This monster that was created.
Well, that growth that we saw in Shadow Hearts may have something to do with this tree.
Yeah. Exactly. Scary stuff, man.
This is probably why the Vatican took over all the arcane magical stuff and kept it away from the average person.
Yeah. I'd say so.
I would, knowing that you could summon a god or resurrect people or turn them into a tree of life, excuse me.
Yeah. Create them into a husk of what they were, basically.
I can't imagine what I'd be like without a soul.
Yeah, just a husk, just sitting there.
Now see, that leads to questions like, does the soul harbor the memories? Does the soul harbor the knowledge of the individual? Because if that's the case, then you would be nothing but the emotions left over after all of that.
That's true. And it depends on what tradition you're following, I mean, because, the Hindus would probably say, yeah, the soul contains all the stuff and you just kind of move bodies. I think probably some of the Christian faiths will probably do that too. I don't know what the Buddhists would think. I think they just believe that you go to nothing after you pass from this world.
I can't accept that. My experiences tell me otherwise.
Well, and even science says energy cannot neither be created or destroyed.
That's right.
Something has to continue on if we're made of some sort of energy. So, which sounds like we probably are.
We are, because... Oh, crap, I healed Koudelka, not Edward. The energy that controls our nervous system is electrical.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So there's definitely something, and it's really hard to put it into words because I don't think any human language can quantify that properly.
Yeah, that's very true. Trying to explain something that we actually can't first-hand experience. I mean,
and when a person dies, that electrical energy disappears. So it's not like we can suction that out and put it into something else to study it. There's just no way. It's something that we could never possibly interact with unless you want shit like this.
Right, exactly. Get ourselves some proton packs and some Ghostbuster traps. There we go. That's how we'll do it.
I like that idea. But then you got to worry about Slimer getting away. See, and that's the thing about ghost hunters, is they don't actually send those spirits away.
Nah, they don't. They just kind of experience them.
They trap them, and then they keep them forever.
Yeah.
Which is problematic for me, because why would you want to keep Gozer the Gozerian spirit around? That's...
Well, yeah. If you could send him away, that'd be much better. or else he's gonna, hang around and destroy the world.
Yeah.
Oh man, this is gonna be one of those 35-minute video or boss battles.
We spent 10 minutes reading, so...
That was good reading, though. That was crazy stuff. It really explains why this place is so messed up.
And I gave it my silkiest voice, too.
That's right. Dramatic reading by
Well,
Six Osiris.
It had to be dramatic. You can't just talk about murdering people like that and have no feeling.
Right, right.
That would do a disservice to the story that the game is trying to tell.
Exactly. And laughing periodically in the middle of it probably wouldn't be appropriate either.
No.
Butchered 5 bodies.
That's funny. Let's do it again.
Well, he did.
Yeah. I also wanted to touch upon, with my own voice, his trepidation at the situation. It's a fancy word.
Yeah.
I preferred to use that, though, because it wasn't just confusion. It wasn't just... I don't want to say resentment or fear. There was a lot going on there, and he really didn't know how to handle what he was doing. And then I think the worst part was he was dragging Ogden down the path.
Right. And he got
and
comfortable
Bessie.
with it after a while.
Yeah, yeah.
So,
That's the part that really disturbed me.
yeah, you can get accustomed to horror.
I don't want that to ever be the case with me. Although it'll probably happen because psychologically you can't avoid that kind of thing.
Yeah, well, I mean, hopefully you're not in a battle zone or something like that, or in the Holocaust situation, so, I mean, your level of horror might not be too high.
But looking at this creature, we're not even disturbed by the fact that it's a bunch of legs and it looks like rotting flesh.
Yeah, but it's a game. I think, at least for us, I think we can make that separation. I mean, if we were actually in the same room with a big statue of real legs and gore, I think we'd have a reaction.
Oh, I'm uncomfortable seeing the legs move, but it's not like an aversion.
Right, right.
That's really weird to think about. So watching
like a game like Dead Space, I have a pretty nasty reaction to that game because it's just scary and gross.
And I didn't make the separation in the last episode, and we're going to keep it in now because of that.
Right.
If you think about it, I did not have the aversion to the death that I should have had because, well, we were there when Bessie blew her brains out. So that was one thing that really disturbed me.
Yeah. That was a disturbing cutscene.
It was. We didn't get to see it, but when you know what's happening, that makes it worse. Like,
yeah, exactly. Because your mind can imagine stuff.
Like today, I was actually watching a video on mute, and my brain was inserting the shotgun sounds. It was a Spelunky video. So I'm so familiar with that sound that my brain automatically inserted it. It was amazing.
Yeah.
I was like, really? I don't need to hear this sound, brain, but if you want to fill in that blank, yeah, okay.
It will help you do that, yes. Completing your experience, your brain.
Apparently it's very important to my brain to be able to hear that shotgun sound.
Yeah, the brain wants things to make sense, so it will help things do that if it can't.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes to your detriment.
Definitely.
Yeah. It's an imperfect system.
But it allows for such great thought.
Oh yeah, I mean, improvisation is basically what it's doing. So it's an amazing thing to be able to just improvise thought and content. It's a pretty cool little organ that we've got up there.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I'm getting Civ 6 this week. I'm really hyped about it. And of course, for you guys, it's going to be like really late when you see this. And I'll have already been playing it and put videos up. But I wanted to talk to Blind Man's World about it because I think he might enjoy that versus like Civ 5. It's a lot easier to understand. They've broken things down a lot, and I'm kind of looking forward to it in some ways. But in other ways, there are things I don't like, and you'll have to see when I play it.
Yeah, I'll check it out. I think I don't play those games because of, well, I think I've talked about it before, is the multitasking. I used to be able to do that like in SimCity as a kid and stuff. Now it's just stressful.
It gets that way, especially on the higher difficulties when you know the AI is going to make a target of you no matter what you do, and it's harder to win.
Right. Exactly. It's like, Crow, come on, Crow, what should I invest in? I don't know! And then people just kill you.
Oh, that tea feels so good going down my throat hole.
I imagine so. It's nice, warm, antioxidant.
It's not warm anymore. Well, it's Luke again. It's lukewarm. Don't give me the Luke. That might be a meme that I try to apply to the Caffeine Co-Commentaries because I'm going to be dealing with lukewarm tea so much. And
lukewarm Skywalker.
Oh, there goes. We did it.
Oh, good. You killed the legs.
They weren't very doom-filled. I have to say, I expected more doom.
Yeah, they didn't do all the nasty hit point damage that they said they would. We
didn't even really have to concentrate on healing, which to me is amazing because I'd expected a more in-depth battle.
Well, I think our max level is supposed to be like 27 for that, and you're 30-something. 34, so that's why.
We just got 2 levels in a row.
Wow. Sweet. Bonus points. Bonus points.
Yeah, 2 levels in a row for everyone.
Nice. Call me happiness. Awesome.
I won't call you penis. That's a joke that the other guys use a lot because happiness. Well, you get it.
Has penis in it. Yeah.
Automatic pistol and the spell reflect.
Oh, that sounds fun. But you have to use it for the final boss or something like that.
Probably. Actually, this episode isn't quite at the hour mark, but I did all that reading. We finally broke the illusion of not understanding what was going on.
And we killed the boss, so it's a good place to stop at least this episode and move on from there. Nice bookmarked area. So hopefully everybody's enjoying the episodes, and we'll see you in the next one.
Indeed. Bye, everybody.